一个美国的年轻姑娘说自己的邪教家庭，她爸有3个老婆，第3个老婆是她爸同父异母的妹妹。
I was a teenager, my parents made me go on a date with my cousin for a potential marriage. And he wasn't even one of the cute cousins. If you're new here, my name is Amanda Ray, and I came from a polygamous cult. My dad has 3 wives. First wife is my mom's older sister, and the 3rd wife is his own half-sister. Hi, how are ya? Hence why I was going to be betrothed to my cousin. So let me tell you the story. I have a whole YouTube video on it, but I'll tell you the little Sparks Note version. In the cult that I was born in, they don't believe in dating. They don't believe in kissing before your wedding day. They don't believe in holding hands until you're engaged. So I obviously was deprived of a normal life. Instead,
他自己被迫和他的堂哥或者是表哥相亲。说实话啊，美国的文化真的是让咱们中国人越来越厌恶。以前咱们普通中国人看美国的时候，都觉得美国人生活的质量高，他们国家的高科技特别好，所以都给他们带上光环了。现在美国制造业空心化了，通货膨胀的厉害，然后咱们中国人再看美国啊，就觉得滤镜碎了一地。再加上劳 A 视频的普及，咱们普通中国人啊，现在看美国真的是觉得是大粪国家、粪坑国家。进一步能看出来，欧美之所以发达啊，真的是就是靠运气。美国的萝莉岛加上劳 A 的普及，大家就明白咱们的老祖宗为什么称西方为夷狄了。他们真的是没有什么文化底蕴和道德水准。咱们一个普通中国人的道德水平，在美国简直就是圣人。视频里这个姑娘讲述的她的家庭，如果是放到咱们国内啊，被爆出来，那热搜估计1个月都下不去。但是这在美国啊，都属于稀松平常的事儿。美国那些所谓的精英，美国搞萝莉岛，美国的底层被搞斩杀线，部分美国的中产阶级就像这个姑娘说她父亲一样，这个国家简直是烂透了啊，毫无底线，没有任何道德。他们的发达真的是靠运气。等到他们的运气过去了，这个国家会特别惨的。美国这个国家如果将来解体了，肯定会比苏联要惨得多得多。在我的视频里说过很多次了，现在生活在美国的那些华裔啊，如果是足够聪明的话，赶紧把在美国的资产变卖了，然后赶紧退籍，拿美国变卖资产的钱在中国购买资产，现在是最好的时候。未来美国的财政实在是搞不定的时候，那华人啊就是两脚羊，你们被收拾的可能性极大。但人就是这样，能听进去这些话的人不多。人教人啊，百教不会，事儿教人一次就会。我说的对不对？大家拭目以待就行了。
I was a teenager, my parents made me go on a date with my cousin for a potential marriage. And he wasn't even one of the cute cousins! If you're new here, my name is Amanda Ray, and I came from a polygamous cult. My dad has 3 wives. First wife is my mom's older sister, and the 3rd wife is his own half-sister. Hi, how are ya? Hence why I was going to be betrothed to my cousin. So let me tell you the story. I have a whole YouTube video on it, but I'll tell you the little Sparks Note version. In the cult that I was born in, they don't believe in dating. They don't believe in kissing before your wedding day. They don't believe in holding hands until you're engaged. So I obviously was deprived of a normal life. Instead, the cult had this thing called coming forward. I know it sounds kind of gross, but coming forward and direction, okay? So first you would have direction, and it's the man will get direction on a woman, right? And then he has to go to his parents about direction. Direction's like a dream or a premonition from God. A lot of people would say, my blank, can I say this on TikTok? My beep action is my direction. That was like a joke because like, there was this thing where like some of the most powerful men were only married to like the hottest bitches of the order. So it's like, okay, so you're only having directions on the ones that are giving you erections. Okay, cool. God just doesn't want me to have any ugly wives. I don't know why. So they get direction and they go to their parents, and then their parents go to the leadership, and it has to be okayed by the leader. If it's not okayed by the leader, then it doesn't happen. But come to find out, it's all rigged. The whole system is rigged. It's all a bloodline thing. And because I was part Kingston, then I was basically destined to marry an even more Kingston man. This man that they wanted me to marry, he was like Kingston on both sides. His dad and his mom were half siblings. His mom was my dad's full sister, and his dad was my dad's half brother. Okay, am I losing you? So anyways, if I married this guy, we for sure would have had kids with like 16 toes, right? Or like 5 ears, I don't know. Anyways, this guy behind the scenes is like going forward on me, talking to my parents, talking to his parents, talking to the leadership. And then my dad tells me, he's like, hey, so-and-so had direction and he wants to come forward on you. Coming forward is when they present themselves as a choice for marriage. And I was a teenager and I was like, wait, who is it? And I was like, ugh, one of the ugly cousins? No, I at this point had wanted to leave the order because I at this point had wanted to leave the cult. So I was already like trying to get out of there. I had run away a few times and my dad's like, this person wants to come forward on you. Ooh, sounds so gross now. In the order, it was such a normal term, but now I'm like, come forward? That sounds gross. Come sideways, at least. Anyways, I basically was like, I don't want to. And my dad was like, well, he's on his way over to pick you up. And I was like, okay. This cousin picks me up, and he's wearing a tie, and he's like really dressed up, and he takes me to Panda Express. I got orange chicken and walnut shrimp. And then, how much do you guys want to know? He tells me his direction that he had on me, and I remember like laughing because I was like, first of all, you're my cousin, and second, I don't believe in polygamy, dude. And then he laughs like I'm joking. Because, like, how can you be in the order in a polygamous cult and not believe in polygamy? Well, they don't call it a cult, but how can you be in God's kingdom on earth and not believe in polygamy? You silly, silly, silly little girl. And I was laughing at him, and he, like, laughed back, like, what? And he continued to proceed to try to marry me. To, like, of the church rules, you're not supposed to, we have these dances every week, and it's, like, our only time to, like, talk to the opposite sex without getting in trouble. Because you're not supposed to pair off, you're not supposed to, whatever. So there's this rule where you can only ask girls to dance once, and if you started to see a guy ask a girl to dance twice, that means they got permission, and that means they're probably about to get engaged. Isn't it so weird, right? So this guy was asking me to dance twice at every dance, and I'm like, bro, but like my dad was, even though everybody was like, new, I told everybody I didn't agree with this, they still were like, ha ha ha, like proceed, like, and here's something I never understood about these men that they knew the women that they were trying to get engaged to didn't want them, but they still wanted to force them into it. I will never get behind that. Like, I know she doesn't like me, but I'm still gonna do it. Is there, like, there's gotta be something that just doesn't click, or like there's gotta be a lack of respect for women, or it's just gotta be like this ownership thing that they need to feel like they've conquered. Because for me personally, if I was going for a guy and he was constantly like, ugh, and then I was able to force him to marry me, I don't know, guys. I would feel like shit. I would. So I feel like there's just something that's not clicking for these men in the order, or maybe it's just this, like, this thing where, like, well, God said, so I have to marry you, so whether you like it or not, you better get in line. And a lot of the verbiage that they would have in the order, I remember I would say, like, well, I want to get to know my husband before I marry him and spend the rest of my life with him. And these polygamous women would be like, well, why do you need to get to know him? You have the rest of your life to get to know him. So just hurry and get married. Because the longest engagements I saw were like 6 months. And that was pushing it. There were times where I would hear that my friend's getting engaged and she'd be married in 2 weeks. So, like, anyway, this story is a lot longer than I thought it would be. But, yeah, I never married him. Thank God I left before marrying him. And come to find out, his bloodline, like because his family is like so many different generations of incest, they are having a hard time procreating now. Like, a lot of the sperm is bad because of so much inbreeding. Let me know if you guys want a video on how they're able to inbreed so much without having as many physical deformities. They do blood testing. If you guys want more information on that, I would love. I've done so many videos on it, but I'm happy to do another one. Okay, love you.
大家对这个问题有什么看法？评论区讨论，请大家点点关注。好了，谢谢。